Hello, everybody. This is my video discussion post for this week. This week, we are reviewing our original self-care plan that we made in week 1, I believe, and to go over it, to see what it was like, how it played out during the course of this course, and what we need to adjust or change on it moving forward. So to begin, I'm going to review what my self-care plan was primarily. My self-care plan was primarily faceted around 3 main plans of care: my physical, emotional, and spiritual plan of care. For my physical side, the idea was to ensure that I was receiving good exercise. I was going to be working out 5 days a week. Now, this is small workouts, little bike exercises, some lifting weights, maybe 30 minutes each morning to begin my day and to move forward. Nothing strenuous, but something of substance that can help get me going during the day. My emotional care was going to be done through the course of journaling. I'd be journaling first thing in the morning and at night. I use journaling to help me understand and identify emotions that I'm feeling during the day. I'm a very head-focused person, always thinking. I'm not really an emotional person. I have emotions, but sometimes it can be hard to figure out what it is exactly that I am feeling. So I journal what I experience in order to put it on a page in front of me so that I could analyze it and find out exactly where I'm at, what I'm walking through. The journaling at night was also a good way to catch everything that happened during the day, that I could go back and look at the emotions that I experienced throughout the day. And then finally would be my spiritual care. Every morning I start with silence and solitude, followed by prayer and scripture reading. I do this every day. I get up earlier in the morning every day in order to make sure that that's accomplished. And then the goal was also to incorporate the process of Lectio Divina at night, which is a reflection type of prayer, going through the day and seeing what we're grateful to have received during the course of our time. Overall, the implementation of everything went very well, except for one. And so I'll start with the good stuff. My spiritual care was something that I was very committed to. I haven't missed a day. I really find it hard to not begin my day in that silence and solitude, getting a very centered, focused moment before I begin the process of the day. It's one of the most grounding and beneficial things I've ever experienced, and I held true to it throughout the course of this course. Every day I do that, and I follow in the process of Lectio Divina, which in and of itself throughout our time during this course has changed because of the recording sessions and the group sessions. Some of the things we were working on within our counseling sessions, I've been able to apply to Lectio Divina to help include that during the course of my day. So there's a little bit of an adjustment there, but I stayed tried and true to my spiritual care. Emotional care was also correct. Something that I stayed tried and true to. I journal every morning, reflecting on my feelings, and during my Lectio Divina, I reflect by journaling on my emotions at night. It's a fantastic way to keep track of where I'm at, where I came from, and a good way to start the day in a place of understanding. I have held true to that. One thing I have not held true to would be the physical care. I would say that I average about 3 days a week of exercise. I have not kept the full 5 days. And I think the main challenge that surrounded that whole facet of my self-care plan was the timing. Every morning I wake up a good hour earlier, hour and a half earlier if I'm going to work out, in order to ensure that I get that silence and solitude and prayer and journaling and workout. And I think just overall, if any of those things was going to fail during the course of that self-care, it was most certainly going to be the working out. It's just time consuming. It's not that I didn't want to do it. It's not that it was too strenuous or too hard in any way. It just was the first thing on the chopping block when it came to time. So I've thought about that and thinking about moving forward and overcoming that obstacle because physical care is very important. I maintain doctor's appointments and everything like that, but I should be active constantly in order to keep moving through life. So I've thought about implementing a plan of, we're kind of in the summer, but at night, if it's not too hot, to help incorporate both that, some silence and solitude, possible some reflection time of walking in the evening around my neighborhood. I take my dog out. He certainly would enjoy that. And that would help to get a better time to incorporate that into my daily care, because it just looks like the physical care fell apart because of the time frame itself. The self-care plan, looking at a reflection of how it fared for me, it was fantastic for my personal well-being, emotionally, mentally. It helped me walk through these courses. By adopting onto this master's course, I have added a lot of stress in my life, and so far it hasn't rolled into any other aspect of my life, my job, my family, personal time with my wife, my son, the theater itself. Nothing has really seen any sort of cracks lately, which is something I was worried about, adding a whole master's course on top. But I've been able to read those textbooks and do the papers and coordinate the videos and with other future counselors, and been able to handle all of that. And I think that is primarily because of how structured and regimented I hold the beginning and the end of my day, trying to give a cap of everything. And I think it's certainly mentally and emotionally, spiritually, my self-care plan has helped push that forward. And thinking professionally, as we develop into this career, I think it's going to be, it will behoove me to ensure that I nail down that pattern for the physical care, as well as ensure that I maintain these patterns moving forward. The stress of the job itself, the emotional burden of walking through some of these concepts and ideas is something that is worrisome, but with a good self-care plan, I think is something that we can overcome as a counselor. And it's just understanding and developing and fine-tuning it moving forward that is really going to be beneficial. So I hope you enjoyed that. I look forward to hearing from all of you and how your self-care plans went in the course of the craziness of life and this master's. Hope to hear from you soon.